So there are this demonic nature in this world, and those who are of that demonic nature, they do harmful things, very graphically described there in the 16th chapter. But Krishna protects us from them. When we take shelter of Krishna, fear will be there. There will be adverse conditions, but Krishna will protect us. So I said I'd just read something from that original Bhagavatam. Where have they gone now? Can I have them back? Thank you. And there's another one. Can I have that? So in the this first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam is our greatest treasure. It's our greatest treasure because Prabhupada wrote this first canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam personally, on his typewriter, composed it, he visited the printers personally so many times, checking the galley proofs and producing this first canto, and brought it with him to America. And under his direction, he had it all re-edited. He instructed his disciples how to do that. And it was republished in 1972 in the original BBT edition, which was then later, some minor revisions were made by the same devotees that Prabhupada personally trained. Nobody else tampers with Prabhupada's books, but those who he personally trained, he knew exactly what they're doing. So that new edition, Prabhupada brought it with him when he came to London in 1972. And in the summer of 1972, he started lecturing at Volume 1, Canto 1, Chapter 1, Verse 1. And he went verse by verse, all through the first chapter of the Bhagavatam and on into the second, while he stayed that summer for 5 weeks here in London. And one of the very important passages in this Bhagavatam first canto is the prayers of Queen Kunti. And in the prayers of Queen Kunti, she refers to how in this world sometimes Krishna becomes invisible. Kunti Devi, the verse, text 18 in the 8th chapter, Srimati Kunti said, O Krishna, I offer my obeisances unto you because you are the original personality and are unaffected by the qualities of the material world. You are existing both within and without of everything, and still you are invisible for all. And then in the next verse she prays, being beyond the range of limited sense perception, the eternal, irreproachable factor covered by the curtain of deluding energy, you are invisible to the foolish observer, exactly like the artist, dressed as a player, is not recognized by the less intelligent person. Because Kunti has been in the midst of so many troubles. Her whole life has been one long succession of tragedies and trials, tribulations. And she's famously, she is saying to Krishna, I don't mind, Krishna, if you want to put me through all these tribulations, because it makes me remember you. So sometimes, people wonder that how can this world have there are so many demons in this world, and Krishna could immediately, he could wave his hand and they would all go. Why doesn't he rescue us? So Kunti supplies the answer, because by undergoing these tribulations, I remember you. But at this particular place, she's saying, but you are not visible. Which Krishna, again, he says it in the Gita, he explains, I am not visible. To the foolish, well, we all have a degree of foolishness, we don't see Krishna. The same word here, muda. Muda drisha, by foolish observer. Nato natyadaro yata. Just as by the foolish observer, the artist dressed as a player, the foolish observer sees the character but not the actor within. And so similarly, this is the way we see this world. We who are conditioned see that we don't see the actor within, the soul, and ultimately we don't see the divine actor, Krishna, who is within and beyond everything. And if we did, we would have no fear. We would never have any fear. So here in this pastime, the cowherd boys, they're living with Krishna, they're playing with him on a daily basis, but momentarily he appears to have vanished, and immediately their hearts practically stop, their senses grind to a halt. It's as if their life is gone. But we will find, of course, in the next verse, Krishna makes a speedy comeback. So does anyone have any questions or comments? Yes, Ron.
Thank you very much for this class. Lots of pastimes with Krishna friends. You made one point that we are not good or bad, the soul is not good or bad. And then you brought up in my mind the question, which may have been answered before, about original sin. Krishna said that we are by nature sinful and bad. And then to counter that, then we say, no, we're pure. But then how did we leave the spiritual world if we're pure?
Yeah. Okay, let's actually see what Krishna actually says. That's, I think, in the 7th chapter. Does anyone know the reference to that verse? That we're all
born into the desire and...
Yeah. Can you find that verse for me? You quoted it.
You say it's in the 7th chapter?
I don't know. It might be the 8th chapter. It's a verse that Prabhupada quite often quoted. Actually, I remember quoting it in his room at the Manor.
What's it stating? What's the verse explaining? I didn't quote a particular verse, I was just saying.
Oh, but you said, Krishna says.
No.
What did you say? You said Prabhupada says?
No,
You said Krishna says we're sinful.
No, I said during the class you mentioned that we are not good or bad. That the soul is...
Can someone find that verse? Do you know that everyone who's born into this world is born into...
delusion and bewildered by dualities of desire and hate.
That's the one.
Okay, let's check this out.
That's important because otherwise we have to understand what Krishna speaks in the Gita with such precision. I'm not going to find that unless you know where it is. Doesn't anyone here know the location of that verse?
I think it is.
It's either 7 or 8. And what Krishna says is that when we come into this world, we're born into delusion.
Yeah, you're right. 7:27.
Okay.